German president calls for war crimes tribunal against Putin, Lavrov.
Here's a summary of the article.
German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier speaks during news conference at Rukla military base, Lithuania March 3, 2022. Register now for free unlimited access to Reuters. Berlin, April 8. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier is calling for a war crimes tribunal against Russian President Vladimir Putin and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. German magazine Der Spiegel cited Steinmeier as saying, "Anyone who has responsibility for these crimes will have to explain themselves," Steinmeier told Der Spiegel in an interview. "That includes soldiers. That includes military commanders. And of course also those that have the political responsibility," he said. Ukraine has accused Russia of genocide and war crimes. The Kremlin said on Tuesday that Western allegations that Russian forces executed civilians in the Ukrainian town of Bucha were a monstrous forgery, meant to discredit the Russian army and justify new Western sanctions. Register now for free unlimited access to Reuters.com.
This post received a score of 19,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
A thing to keep in mind is that the German president technically has far-reaching legal authority, but traditionally stays out of regular day-to-day politics and takes a mostly ceremonial role as a representative of the Federal Republic of Germany. That being said, the very same tradition establishes the German president as the conscience of the nation. So if the guy whose one job is about political restraint makes official statements like these, the room is very much on fire.
Greater than i.e., the president theoretically could veto any and all federal laws before signing them into function. That's not entirely certain. He can definitely delay signing them to have them checked for being constitutional. It's not clear what would happen if he refused to sign a clearly constitutional law.
It's a bit like how in Belgium our king has to sign the laws into effect, i.e. Koninklijk Besluit. The one time the king in our country did not want to sign a law legalizing abortion, they deposed the king for one day and signed the law themselves.
At this own request.
You mean he didn't want to sign it as it was against his principles, so he asked to be removed so they sign it without him?
Correct. They were devout Christians. Such a shame they couldn't get children, so now we are stuck with that oddball Philip.
Okay. So in a sense it's kind of a misrepresentation. He was kicked out for a day, but at the same time, had he not requested it, he would have been kicked out lol. So, IDK. Kind of political.
I mean, it shows he respects the Democrat institution.
Glad to see Lavrov named there. He shouldn't be allowed to lie and deflect to that degree without being considered a war criminal as well.
I'd hope the law has some provision of aiding and abetting.
Don't worry, Ribbentrop hung first back then. Lavrov won't get away either just because he happens to be foreign minister. Edit, mandatory Wikipedia link.
Greater than Ribbentrop didn't have much knowledge of this guy before. Good. When your foreign policy includes the wholesale destruction of another nation, I could give a fuck less if it's completely sovereign or not. Well, I hope it hurt quite a lot.
Am I blind? I can't find a text that's fitting the headline.
I guess it's about, that includes soldiers. That includes military commanders. And of course also those that have the political responsibility, he said. But I don't know why they would only think this applies to Lavrov.
Putin, Lavrov, Medvedev, who sounds nuttier every time he shows up, Peskov, Shoigu. This is a thing that just has to happen. If we don't throw the weight of real law behind it, the entire global resistance amounts to nothing more than guns and opinions.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.